Skimbo?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We got very excited that the NFL is finally back. I also just went live on YouTube as well. If you want to see my face, which I don't think anyone really does, but if you're really curious, you can go ahead and go on YouTube. I have that live as well. But here we go. So let's get into it. Here's my screen share for Fantasy Labs Optimizer. McBobo and Skimbo, I'd love to get your guys' opinion on if you have a strong feel for how this game is going to go tonight. McBobo, I'll start with you. Do you think the Chiefs handle business, or do you think Lions can compete here?
Honestly, I think we're just going to see the same Chiefs team that Andy Reid's been coaching up these years and stuff. I don't see where the Lions have added anything or anything new to their where they're going to there. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I think the Chiefs pretty much just handle this one. They go 1-0 very easily.
Yeah, yeah, I can't argue with that. Chiefs have been good for a long time. There's a lot of good reasons for that. And outside of Travis Kelce being out tonight, they're pretty much the same squad. I guess you could say Chris Jones on the defensive end being out is big as well.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Definitely.
Sonny, how
But,
about
you know,
you? Do you have
find a
anything to
way.
add? Sorry, go ahead, McBobo.
No, I'm just saying, they even without Kelsey here, they obviously Mahomes finds his receivers. Obviously, there's a multitude of receivers out there. That's the biggest question is, who's going to see, the most targets, going to get the best opportunities from that. But he'll spread it around, and they're going to find a way to move this offense without Travis Kelsey tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you guys can see, I have the DraftKings odds pulled
Two
up here.
receivers out there.
We got someone's coming in hot here. Okay, I think we got it figured out though. I had the DraftKings odds up here. The Chiefs line, or I'm sorry, the line has actually been moving in favor of the Lions. Now, obviously, this is probably in response to Travis Kelce. I actually think I'm not a sports bettor, but if I was, I think the Chiefs -4 is a pretty solid line. And inversely, if you were able to get the Lions plus 6.5 or plus 7, I think it even opened at that. I'd be pretty happy with that as well. So, Josh is asking if I'm wearing the salmon shirt. No, just got a plain Nike tee on today. Let's get some of these other guys involved. We have my friend Sonny, aka Skimbo, and Sports Guy Bros, my friend Tyler. We'll start with Sonny. Sonny, do you have anything you'd like to add or any hot takes you got going for the game tonight?
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be a shootout. And obviously the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they'll probably cover and all that good stuff. But Dan Campbell back in Detroit, he gets the boys fired up, so they got them playing hard, and I expect them to give it their all. But it's the Chiefs. Kelsey's huge being out, and Chris Jones, right?
Yes.
So him being out as well, big factor. Let Goff cook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over 1.5 touchdowns,
Lions money line.
Yeah. You got some some voice from the peanut gallery back there. Tyler, sports guy, bro, can you give us who the optimal captain is going to be tonight on DraftKings? I thought Tyler was here, but now I don't hear him. So, McBubba, are you playing DraftKings at all tonight, or are you just doing props?
Yeah, no, I'm playing a couple single entries, and then I got 20 on the dimes in our group contest.
Nice. Well, how about you give us your favorite captain play for tonight, if you don't mind?
It was kind of tough because it's so painted in the corner of Mahomes being the most optimal. He's a known commodity. We know he's going to go out there. He's going to perform. He's going to score a lot of fantasy points. But I looked to try to see about some different captains, and there's some pricing options that I liked.
Yeah.
Definitely looking at the running back core for the Lions. I think there's some good opportunity there, especially with Gibbs looking to get some receptions coming out of the backfield and stuff. So that's one. The other one being, Noah Gray. This is a long shot. I've seen him do some good things. They worked him into game plan previous season, but you look at that one. That's one of those you can get away with the cheap option that should get a few looks, and maybe you get something, maybe get a touchdown out of it, and you can put all the studs with them. So that's just what I'm looking at for captains right now.
Yeah, it's very well said. Obviously, Noah Gray gets a huge bump with no Travis Kelce, so that's why you're seeing the pretty hefty projection on him here. We got him for 9 points, and obviously at 2,400, that's huge. And if you can get a touchdown out of him in the captain spot, like McBobo said, you can pay up elsewhere, and so you might be sitting pretty. I do think Gray is going to be popular, and for good reason. All those things I just said about him is very good reason for him to be popular. So let's check in. I see Blake just joined here too. Blake, is your mic working okay?
Hey, yeah, it's working.
Perfect, Blake. Are you playing DraftKings tonight or just doing props?
Yeah, I'm playing the Showdown.
Absolutely. McBobo just threw out obviously Mahomes and then Noah Gray as a cheap option for captain. Do you have any other guy? And he did mention Gibbs as well, who I like too. His receptions prop on the prop sites are at 3.5 or even 4 in some places. So, getting those receptions on full PPR DraftKings is huge. And obviously he can, has the ability to get 5 or 6 targets. It's his first NFL game, so we'll see how it goes. But Blake, did you have any other, besides those 3 that we just listed, Gibbs, Mahomes, and Gray, do you have anyone else that you really like in this game?
I have like Sky Moore in like every lineup. But yeah. I only have him in captain at one lineup. I don't know. I just think he's too cheap, and his projection's really good. I also have some Watson as like a pump play. It lets me get in like the 4 studs.
Yeah.
Or I guess 3 studs. Well, 4 if you include Gibbs, and then Khalif Raymond as well. I have as a cheap option.
Yeah, those are all great options. And specifically, Sky Moore is extremely cheap. For all intents and purposes, it seems like Sky Moore, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Justin Watson are going to be the quote-unquote starters. Now, take that with a grain of salt because Chiefs literally have, I think, 7 different receivers that are going to be mixing in. So, it's unlikely that one of these guys like really separates from the crowd in terms of playing time. But MVS, Sky Moore, and Justin Watson are the guys that I feel really good about, being on the field the most. And then, of course, there's Richie James. There is who else am I missing here? The rookie. I don't know how to say. Is it Rashee Rice or Rashee Rice? I'll save myself there. If anyone knows, please feel free to chime up. And then
I think it's Rashee Rice.
Rashee Rice. Okay, that sounds better than Rashi. Kadarius Toney is the last receiver for the Chiefs there. So yeah, it's definitely a crowded room for sure. But yeah, no, I think that pretty much it covers the Chiefs wide receiver group. When we talked about Noah Gray, the tight end, the only other thing that I'll mention here, as far as the Chiefs go, is I think Blake Bell at $200. Now he's mainly a blocking tight end, so I think you really got to temper expectations with what you are hoping for out of him. But I do think at $200, he could sneak his way into the end zone in a similar way that Noah Gray can. Noah Gray, obviously a little bit safer and more of a receiving threat. But Blake Bell, I don't think is going to come with much ownership. Makes for good leverage off of Noah Gray, and he's $200. So if you put him in the lineup, really opens up a lot of salary stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty good on the Chiefs side of things. I'll start here with the on the Lions side of things. I actually am really heavy on at least relative to the field. It looks like Jared Goff, at least projections have him captain. His captain projection ownership is a roughly 7 to 8%. At least that's what I'm seeing on the few places that I check. And if that's the case, I think that's too low, and I'm about 3xing the field on his ownership for captain. Now, obviously, I know you see a different number here for projected ownership, but that's for the flex, not for the captain spot. Let's start with Sonny. If you're still here, Skimbo, do you have any strong opinions on Jared Goff and how he's going to do tonight? I know you mentioned that you had him for over 1.5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Jones is out, so that's a big one. Less pressure on Goff. Hopefully that leads to more offense. And you got Amon-Ra, a dog.
Some guy.
Yeah, Sun God, and then
yep.
And then Jahmyr Gibbs, he's a weapon for sure. And we'll see how he does in the NFL, but expect big things. And you got Montgomery too. So I think offensively, they'll get the ball rolling, and hopefully it leads to some touchdowns.
Absolutely, yeah. Our friend Taxi was looking to get in on the stream. Taxi, are you here? I just gave you the access, so you should be good to go. You may have to do like the push to talk thing. And I just added you, so you may have to leave and then join back up. I'm not 100% sure, but test that out, Taxi, and let me know. Hit me up in the fantasy channel if it's not working. Oh, now it's saying not muted for you, Taxi. Are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thanks for joining, Taxi. How you doing?
Doing good. It's nice talking to you for the first time, I think.
Yeah, no, this is really nice. I feel like a lot of these guys, it's just over text, so it's nice to put a voice to the Discord name, which is really nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on MVS and Sky Moore. I do not think they're going to have another game this season with a higher ceiling, specifically because of the combination of not just Kelsey, but Tony. Like those two guys. Oh, hold on. I'm seeing like your lips moving, but I can't hear it. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, I don't know if you're watching the YouTube stream, but the YouTube stream is a little bit behind, Taxi. So I'm probably talking totally on the stream, but it's about 15 to 20 seconds delay on YouTube. So no, you're totally fine.
Yeah, my bad. Yep, that's what it was. But yeah, I just think the combo of Tony out and Kelsey out, I don't know if that's going to happen again this year. And for their salaries, I mean, you could fit these two in. You can get Sun God at captain and both quarterbacks and still go with like a Noah Gray, which is just a crazy combination. So I am super high on those two guys for sure.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think I may have heard you say, Taxi, that Tony's out. I just want to say that Tony is in. I don't know to the extent of how much he's going to play. I do think he is limited in some fashion, and but did just want to cover that really quick. But I think that you made some really good points. If Tony is limited, which it sounds like he is, I should actually pull up the Chiefs practice report. But regardless, he's never been like an every down player as it is. He's more of like a gadget guy. So, sorry, go ahead, McBobo.
I'm just the gadget play. Yeah. I like what they were doing with him in the playoffs, but the injuries. So here we are again,
For sure.
Stay healthy.
For sure, yeah, and I think what Taxi was saying with MVS and Sky Moore not having a higher ceiling in any other game is probably correct. I mean, this matchup is phenomenal. It doesn't get much better than this, to be honest. So, and the pricing is funky too, with Tony being by far the most expensive of the Chiefs wide receivers. Feels like you really need him to get in the end zone. Maybe even twice to pay off this price tag, because I just don't know that the volume is going to be there or the snaps like Taxi mentioned. So I think that's a great point. I think that pretty much covers it. Maybe the kickers or the defense. I'm kind of just like coming in even on the kickers. I never have too much of a stance on the kickers, to be honest, in Showdown. and then the defenses, obviously it's a really high total game. So I think if you're going, heavy Chiefs, you could throw the defense in there, or if you're going heavy Lions, you could throw the defense in there. But outside of that, I probably wouldn't play them much. I think I have them each less than 10% across my lineups. So, McBobo, anything to add there? Are you playing any kickers or defense across your lineups?
I know I have a spattering of Butker. I worked him in there. I know that he's going to get some opportunities. Obviously, plenty of extra points if they're going to go for a shootout here. But I think there's going to be a couple times here the Lions defense is going to hold him up enough, just put him in field goal range. And last season, you saw a lot of fluky games where kickers turned out to come out into the optimal and stuff. It's not something that makes sense over the whole, span of things, but it's something you got to look at in these games, especially Thursday night games. There was something about defenses and kickers that came up way too much. But yeah, no, I have to agree. There's no real lean towards that. I just don't see there really being an option for defenses here. I just don't see where one defense is going to really put up anything for turnovers and defensive points and scoring. I just don't see it.
Yeah, great, great coverage there. Let's get. I thought it might be fun to build a lineup together. Blake, let's roll with you. Let's have you pick our captain for the night, if you don't mind.
Well, in our Discord contest, my captain is Jared Goff. I'm taking down the contest, by the way, so we'll go Jared Goff.
Okay.
I love the confidence. And that's he's not my highest owned captain, but in terms of the field, he's my biggest leverage piece. So I actually really like this play with Goff at the captain, and obviously the third most expensive player, fourth if you count Travis Kelce, but obviously not playing. So yeah, I like going Goff there, saving a little bit off of Mahomes and Sun God. Let's go back to Taxi. Taxi, why don't you fill out another one of our flex spots here? And in case you missed it, we got Jared Goff at the captain.
I think you got to go Sun God, right?
I like it. Yeah, that's it feels like so obvious, but at the same time, it correlates so well. If Amon-Ra is doing really well, he's probably bringing Goff along with him, or vice versa. So yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right there, Taxi. And that one felt a little easy. So I'll have you choose another one for us, so you can challenge yourself a little bit.
Man, up to 2, I think MVS has the higher ceiling, so I'm going to go with him.
I love that too, Taxi. And I'm assuming you were deciding between MVS and Sky Moore there. Yeah, for sure. And I think MVS is going to project for less, and he's more expensive. So I think he's going to be way less owned, even though I think Taxi's right. I think he has the higher ceiling of the two. So I posted a sheet earlier talking about leverage. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, where you can get MVS at lower ownership. It's like a 1.5 difference on the projection, but arguably has a higher ceiling. And that's kind of like little leverage pieces that you can take that I think eventually will work out in your favor. It doesn't mean it's always going to work that night or this week or this month, but eventually I think you'll get right on those type of situations. So let's go to who do we get? We got Blake, we got Taxi, McBobo. Would you like to fill out another spot here for us?
It just made it really tough for me because that's receiver, that Kansas City receiver was where I was going to go. I was going to lean towards Moore for that one. I definitely have to agree with his reasoning though on MVS.
Yeah, we could roll with Moore too.
I'm sorry.
We could go with Moore too. I mean, there's you could have more than one Chiefs wide receiver in here.
Yeah, and that was kind of what I was leaning toward. Is between Gray and Moore. I suppose if you're wanting to go with that. I would lean Gray just for the fact that opens up a little bit more. We already put Goff and Sun God there at the top there. That already took a chunk of the over budget. So I will say no with Gray.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that call too. like that call too, and provides us with a little bit of salary relief, like McBobo was saying. So we can spend up for our other 2 spots as well. I see my friend Michael just jumped in. Michael, are you here?
Yes, sir. Hey, T-Dub.
Yo, how's it going, Michael? Good to
I'm
hear
doing
your
great, man.
voice.
Dude, I'm fired up, man. We made it to football season. I can't be happier about this.
That's what
That
I'm
was
talking about. We need some energy around here. No, that's great.
God.
I can't be more excited. It feels like the NFL offseason is way too long, but
We made it.
Yes,
This
we
is
made
crazy.
it. We made it.
And we got a
made it.
great matchup.
Yes, we do. Yeah, it should be a fun game. For sure.
We got a bunch of guys who want to come play hard.
Okay. All right, well, let's mute Michael for the rest of the time. I'm just joking. Michael, do you have I think you have the live stream up. Are you much of a fantasy player, Michael, or a daily fantasy player, I should say?
Not a lot, but I pride myself on my takes. I think that's what separates me. And I think I can offer something here. I don't know if you saw it in the chat, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we know if Mahomes is good without Kelsey. We've never seen it. And I want to take a fade just until we see it
Wow.
on all Chiefs.
On all Chiefs?
Hold on, am I gotta pay for that take? Because that was hot. That was hot. So what's the caption?
Yeah, how much do
Kelsey's-
you charge?
Kelsey's never missed a game. Mahomes has only been good with Kelsey in.
Wow. Now, Michael,
Do we
can I
know-
just ask you, a lot of people had the same sentiment about Tyreek Hill, and then the Chiefs went and won the Super Bowl without him. So does that change your mind at all?
I think this is when the getting cute without paying a receiver season is coming to an end. Travis
Gotcha.
Kelsey goes down before it's bad omens.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I can't argue with that. I'm not well versed in omens, so Michael obviously knows more about the omens than I do. But so, Michael, is that you saying that you don't want to see us put Patrick Mahomes in this lineup, even though we do have 2 Chiefs pass catchers?
I would prefer to see the Lions defense. I think we're going to see a lot of interceptions tonight.
Wow, that is quite the take from Michael, and that's why we bring him on. So that's really good to hear. Skimbo, go ahead, McBobo.
No, I was just saying that was ominous. Feel like he put a curse on him or something, talking about they not paying up for the receiver there.
Yeah, yeah. Michael has his Patrick Mahomes voodoo doll at home, and he's just sticking him
I
with
know.
needles right now.
Well, he's doing that because in our home league, I have Mahomes and Kelsey, so it's definitely.
Michael, are
it's
you
definitely-
telling me that your take was biased there?
I'm telling you this because I convinced Skimbo in our home league to take Kelsey the round 1 and then stack him round 2 with Mahomes. And my
Oh,
plan is
wow.
coming to fruition.
The sabotage.
And if you're right once, it only follows that you're going to be right again.
I've heard that. I actually learned that in math class my senior year of high school, so it must be true.
Sorry to derail this. I have no late takes. But I like what you guys are doing. It all sounds good to me.
Yeah, no. Well, we appreciate the comedic relief for sure, and hey, it's a good point. I don't think Kelsey has ever missed a game with Mahomes, so we're gonna find out how it goes tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and take the reins on this next pick, and let's throw Mahomes in there. We do have 2 pass catchers, so despite Michael thinking that Mahomes is going to fall completely off without Kelsey, I think that we are just going to go ahead and stick him in there. And then let's did we not hit anyone for a pick as far as the guys that are on chat with us here? Well, I'll leave it up to you guys. Between Taxi, Skimbo, Sports Guy Bro, McBobo, or Blake, we have $5,700. If one of you guys wants to chime in here and let me know who you think we'd go with, our options looking like McKinnon, Laporta, Sky Moore, Rice, or we could go a little bit cheaper and leave some money on the table for one of the kickers. Go ahead, guys. Anyone feel free to chime in here.
That's yeah.
Wait, so we already have. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Blake. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so we have two Chiefs pass catchers.
Oh shoot.
And
I
no
would
Greg.
say more, but that's who I would go with. More Laporta.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I think my screen share went off for a second, but I think we're back. Let me know if we're not there. But I think we're back. You said, Blake, you said more, right?
Either more or Laporta in my opinion. Maybe Laporta just because we already have two Chiefs pass catchers, but yeah, I don't know if anyone else has an opinion.
Yeah, no, I like that call. McBoba, how do you feel about that?
That's where I was leaning towards, just so you could go 4 Lions to Kansas City, keep that in line there. So obviously, he's gonna get some opportunities there. So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually kind of like this lineup now that I'm looking at it. It feels it's well balanced, obviously, with the 3-3. Got 2 pass catchers to go along with our Goff captain, and then 2 pass catchers from Mahomes too. I did create quite a few lineups beforehand. I'm not sure if this one made the cut or not, but I think I will add this one. It's looking pretty good. Taxi, overall opinions on this lineup we just created, and are you going to run it?
I do like how since we have Jared Goff at captain, we have more than one pass catcher there with Laporta. I do think that if you were to swap, not on this lineup, but like if you had another lineup where you swapped Goff and Sun God around, then you can just do a 4-2 kind of comeback situation, and then throw in Sky Moore instead of Laporta. So I feel like either that or this, both of them kind of have a nice little flow to them in terms of correlation.
For sure. And you do, that lineup did leave you enough salary to upgrade Sun God into the captain spot there. So you can make that switch pretty easily, or drop down to Moore, or I'm sorry, go drop down from Laporta to Moore as well. So yeah, no, I think it's pretty versatile lineup. I'd be pretty happy with that. Yeah, pretty solid lineup. I'm not gonna lie there. Skimbo, I see your name lighting up there. Did you have something to add?
Oh, I'm just fired up for Dan Campbell and the boys. I think they'll fight, man. Sam Laporta, he'll get the job done since he has no other choice. We put money on him. He's got to perform.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
Absolutely. Well, and I see our friend Stank just joined. Stank, do you have your mic or your phone working?
I think so. Is this working, Tristan?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you just fine. How you doing, bro?
Not too bad. Happy opening night, guys.
Yeah. Happy opening night to you. We'll have
Motor City Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Love it. I love it. And I just remembered too that the Bills Jets game is this Monday night. So Stank, we'll have to get you on again, because Stank is our resident Bills fan here.
Yeah, I'll have Monday off. So.
Oh, perfect.
So I'll be in.
Go ahead, Stank. I cut you off there.
No, I just was saying, so I'll be in.
Oh, perfect.
Just want to say everybody good luck.
Awesome, man. All right, guys. Well, I think we are that pretty much covers it. I did say we'd go over some props, but I already got all those posted today too. So if you guys have any questions about props, or you'd like me to talk about any that I took and the reasonings behind them, feel free to ask away in the NFL fantasy channel. But if not, we'll go ahead and get straight into some sports trivia. And like I teased, we will do some cash prizes. I have $5. I got 2 questions, $5 to each winner. And if we're ready, we can go ahead and get started here. It is a first come, first serve. So if you first person to type out the message in the NFL Fantasy channel will be the winner. All right, here we go. First question, McBobo, winner. This one actually comes to us from Fantasy Sports King, who is our resident Lions fan. So obviously, thank you, Fantasy Sports King, for the question, but you cannot be involved in this one. But the second one is all you. All right, here's the first question. What year did the Lions last beat the Chiefs in Kansas City? What year did the Lions last beat the Chiefs in Kansas City? See a couple solid guesses. Haven't seen the correct answer yet. Let's see. Did we get it? Did we get it? Don't see it yet. And Fantasy Sports King knows it too. So let's see here. Oh, we're getting close. Someone's getting hot. Don't see it yet. Fantasy Sports King, let me know if you see it. Oh, I think McBobo got it right here. 88, he says. Yeah, that is the correct answer. Yeah, and Fantasy Sports King backs us up there. So let's throw some fire emojis at McBobo for getting the answer there. Very nice. I got $5 coming your way, McBobo. And I forgot to mention this, but McBobo did it correctly, even though he has the voice capabilities. But even for those guys, make sure you write it in the chat just to keep it fair. So thank you, McBobo. Thank you for
just kept screaming out numbers. 91, 84, 75.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. So, McBobo, when you get a second, send me your Venmo or Cash App or PayPal, and I got $5 coming your way.
Oh, boy. I'll put that one down on Monday.
There you go. There you go. You got a nice free roll there. All right,
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's go to the second one. Now, this is one that I pulled myself, so everyone is fair game here. Which Chiefs quarterback holds the franchise record for most passing yards in a single game? Which Chiefs quarterback holds the franchise record for most passing yards in a single game? Got some answers coming in. Pretty good guesses so far, but no. And this, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I consider myself a big football fan. I had never even heard of this guy. I had never even heard of him. So there's your one hint. Michael says Andy Reid. Good guess. If it was the franchise record for the kick pass punt competition, that would probably be it. Hey, DJen and I know it. Our friend Josh here got it. Yes, and that is his name is Elvis Grbac, I think is how it's pronounced. 504 yards November 2000. I think Mahomes, his personal record is 478 or something, somewhere in that line. But Fantasy Sports King asked what year? November of 2000. Yeah, so I was born in 95. I had never heard of this guy. Probably before I started closely paying attention to the players at 5 years old. But yeah, that's a great guess. So DJ, I have your Cash App. So unless you want it somewhere else, I'll just send it to your Cash App there. All right, and I think that's going to do it. I still got to get my lineups in, so I'd like to get out of here with about 10-15 minutes to spare before the slate locks. If anyone has any last-minute questions, I'll stay on for about another minute or two, just to make sure we don't have any lingering questions, and then we can go ahead and enjoy this game.
Who picked? Go Hogs.
Michael, thank you for your hot takes as always. We'll have to have you on more often. All right, awesome. Yeah, thanks, Michael. Well, we'll jump off here. I want to say thanks to Blake, McBobo, Taxi, Skimbo, Michael, and Stank. Thank you guys. I might be missing someone. Apologies if I am, but thank you very much for jumping on. We do see one last question here from Ekio, our friend Ekio. Apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. He said thoughts on having Brock and Laporta in the same line. He's talking about Brock Wright, who is he's the kind of the backup. Or actually, I mean, he's listed as the starter on. Excuse my alarm there. Listed as the starter. I don't think that I have him projected for very much. So I personally, Ekio, to answer your question, I would not play them in the same lineup. I think that neither one of them has a ton of upside. I think you're hoping for one of them to fall in the end zone, and so they tend to negatively correlate a little bit. So me personally, I probably would not play them in the same lineup. So I hope that helps. DGen's saying that Elvis Grabac's name popped up in a trivia one night, so that's how he knew that. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Papa says thanks for the great or the insight, great minds for us rookies of the game. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Blake and McBobo and Stank. I see you guys still in here. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll have to do it again soon.
No problem. Love it.
Awesome. All right. Good luck, everyone. I'll see you later.